How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to JDC Studio. My name is Jacob, and in this video, I am going to rank Fire Nathaniel's top 20 favorite NCS songs. The second top 20 I've ever ranked, and this one was quite a lot of fun to rank as well, as I'm sure all the future lists that have been requested to me will be. Once more, you can always check the queue to see the order that I will work on my requests. And my current awaiters are Hydro and Miles, whose top 10s should be out soon. So without further ado, let me start on Fire Nathaniel's list, starting with number 20. Still my least favorite of the NCS x GD album, excluding exclusive releases, no pun intended, but by a much longer shot now because of my growing distaste for neurofunk as a whole. And a good amount of the songs in said album have grown off me, but most were just slight decreases in the ratings, so not as hard as this. My updated rating for this song is 42 out of 100. Although this was really low in my first NCS song ranking, which released almost a year ago now, it's also grown off me due to the off-sounding pitch and numerous elements, mainly in the off-drops. However, the drops are frankly quite boring. Not to mention, the arpeggios would have worked better in the break in my opinion, where another drop would actually ensue, but it's alright. To give it credit, the main off-drop melody still has a bit of nostalgia in it. My updated rating for this song is 43 out of 100. Number 16 is Bones by the Clemens featuring Kellermensch, which is Fire Nathaniel's 13th favorite NCS song. This type of old rockish DMB isn't all that common on NCS as far as I know, at least in the Circle Visualizer era. If it weren't for the quite stellar chord progression combined with the key, chances are this will get a much lower rating, as that style isn't exactly my thing, but I give it a 64 out of 100. Number 15 is Lonely by Two Souls featuring Nara, which is Fire Nathaniel's 19th favorite NCS song. The lyrics express a great theme and are well written for the most part. The drop chords sound uniquely epic and the chord progression is also superb. I think my main hesitancy just comes from the other drop instruments, specifically beats and horn, which sound a bit messy, and mediocre verse instrumentation. I give this a 68 out of 100. Number 14 is A Day at Sea by Everin Maxwell, which is Fire Nathaniel's third favorite NCS song. Add this to the list of massively loved NCS songs that I don't have a super strong passion for. Don't get me wrong, the as name suggests sea vibes are executed very well, and I see that. I just find piratey music overrated in general, and this might be the most pirate heavy song on the label. I guess pointers for variety would also apply here. I give this a 72 out of 100. Number 13 is Bones by Clarks, which is Fire Nathaniel's 14th favorite NCS song. A very good song, of course. However, in my opinion, this is a slight downgrade from his first two NCS songs, which unlike previous songs reiterated from the top 100 video, have actually grown on me a lot. Here, I most definitely enjoy the fierce bass, vocal effects in the intro, and groovy beat in the latter half of the drops, as well as the temporary trap switch up variety adder. I don't know, the melodies and instruments it uses just feels duller and not as memorable to me as Zigzag and Hey. That being said, those two are quite hard to live up to though. I give this a 75 out of 100.
Let's go. Free throw. Let's roll.
Another NCS x GD song that grew off me, only by a little bit this time however. The rating decline for this tune is pretty much solely due to the clashiness heard within the build-up and drop chords. Still isn't bad enough to take away the Fire-esque beat rhythms. My updated rating is 79 out of 100. Number 11 is Can't Heal You by Bad Computer, which is Fire Nathaniel's 17th favorite NCS song. The sound design of the off drops give off the most awesome techno vibes, something I've personally adored for ages, especially for the key it's in, as you probably guessed. My favorite detail has to be the two hardstyle drums before the first drop, which alternates speakers. Unfortunately, the slight basic structuring in the drop restricts my enjoyment a little bit, but not that much. I give this an 83 out of 100. Number 10 is Rebirth by Lensko, which is Fire Nathaniel's second favorite NCS song. This guy's best song on NCS by a very tiny but existent margin. For me, the highlights are the wondrous sounding melodies, funky break section beats, and most notably the key change. But the overall vibe and aforementioned highlights really make up for it. I give this an 84 out of 100. I mean, sometimes the change is hard to really pinpoint, as is the case here. On one hand, the bro step parts of the first drop don't sound as pleasant to me anymore, which is why the overall rating is just slightly lower now. But at the same time, I also don't mind the second drop that much anymore. Perhaps I was being harsh on it all along, as I feel like my rating said otherwise. Either way, wasn't it so funny how perfectly timed the square to circle change was with the dialogue in the original video? If you haven't seen it yet, well, which is even better than the first one in my opinion. And then, wait, is this even the drop? Yeah. Anyway, my updated rating is 85 out of 100. Number 7 is Float by Pacific Air, remixed by The Fat Rat, which is Fire Nathaniel's 12th favorite NCS song. Man, the gimmick of this is super unique, being house in triplets, and it was pulled off wonderfully. The lyrics are interesting, I guess. The theme of the actual words is conflicted, however, I can tell they really brought in the original's tropical vibes, which I do appreciate. I give this an 87 out of 100. Number 6 is Infectious by Tobu, which is Fire Nathaniel's 9th favorite NCS song. As is typical for Tobu, this song is mainly carried by nostalgia for me. It's another one that was used in epic minigames, specifically the minigame Paint to Perfection, one of my many favorites that I was also decently good at. I wouldn't be surprised if I remarked this exact line before, but Typical Type really does have one of the best tastes in music I've seen. I give this an 88 out of 100. Number 5 is Never Let You Down by Itro, which is Fire Nathaniel's 11th favorite NCS song. The theme of these lyrics is easily one of my general favorites. As for me personally, knowing someone is there for me always encourages me and keeps me going in hard times. And I'm so glad NCS signed a song embodying this theme, especially considering their recent fall off. The reason this isn't higher is because, as awesome as the instrumentation is in its own regard, I can't help but feel that it doesn't match up the best with this theme. Ramesses B did a much better job of that in 2017. I give this an 88 out of 100. Number 4 is Living with Regret by Roy Knox and Shia Myself, which is Fire Nathaniel's 8th favorite NCS song. Shia has a later debut than you would think for the fame he's had on this label, however, his career started really well in my opinion. That's mainly due to the instrumentation though, which is the opposite of Never Let You Down ironically enough. The effect at the beginning of the drop is especially wild, and the rest of the drop isn't as insane, but still quite powerful. Part of me wishes it wasn't so similar to When I'm Gone's drop, and I'm honestly not sure which one I prefer, but I'm glad this gets varied with elements outside the drop, such as a different chord progression and vocal chops, which by the way are the most excellent thrillers I've heard in a while. Now about the lyrics. While I of course don't find as much resonation with this one's theme, it's definitely very perceivable and serves as a stellar addition to the dramatic vibe. I give this an 88 out of 100. And since the last 3 songs of this list are ones I've talked about previously, I'm just gonna insert the outro here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new and enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to Fire Nathaniel too to support him. But for now, that's all I've got for you, so I'll see you in the next one. JDC out.